Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, August the 28th. My goodness, we are almost at the end of summer. It's that final week here in Canada where the kids are at home before they have to go back to school after Labor Day weekend. And I'm sure people are super busy. And again, if you're an entrepreneur, those wheels are starting to turn because you know it's going to be time to get your business back on track. My name is Tamara, and I consider myself an inspirational storytelling business mentor. And today we are doing a 2-card draw, tarot reading. We're getting advice from Spirit, and I want to make sure I get the question right for you guys. I'm going to share with you what it is that I'm now doing each week, which is a lot more fun, and I feel like I can be a mentor for more people. So the question we are getting from Spirit today is how to implement a strong sense of passionate leadership without coming across as being too pushy in your business. And if you saw my post previous to this video going live, you'll see that I've noted on here for you guys, we are now direct with Mars coming out of retrograde. So, you know, there's that passion, that push, like, woo, it's been an interesting summer. And, you know, it's time to get things back on track. And we're just coming out of full moon, right? So these are two very powerful energies that a lot of us are actually feeling, especially if you are an empath. And so we want to get cracking in our business again, or start preparing and thinking about what we're going to be doing come next month. But again, with these two energies working side by side, we don't want to come across as being too pushy. All right. So that's the question we're going to be asking this week. And again, I love to share with you guys which tea it is that I'm drinking during these live tea and tarot readings. So today in my little magic cup here, it's actually peppermint. And the reason why, again, is because with peppermint, it's very soothing. And so anything that balances out pitta, like pitta is fire, right? So we need something to soothe ourselves, to soothe our energy. And those are the 3 essential oils I'll be recommending for you guys at the end of this video. But again, you know, if we start using herbs and natural solutions such as high-grade essential oils that I talk about as well, it actually affects us on an emotional and in a mental body, right? So these are the 2 things that I'm using today that I'll be speaking about. And again, I love to share with you guys each week whose deck I'm using. This is not a tarot deck, even though my show is called Tea and Tarot. It is an oracle deck by Canadian Colette Baron-Reid. All right, so I love these decks. This is the deck I'm now using in 2018 because I'm learning this deck. So as I'm learning, I'm sharing all the advice and the messages from the cards with all of you each week. Last year, I used a completely different deck. So there's lots of great decks out there. I love this deck, especially for entrepreneurs, because the messages are very action oriented. So they're making a lot of sense. They're very helpful. So here we go. Wisdom of the Oracle deck we're going to take the 2-card draw from, right? So just want to remind you guys that every week, these are not free readings that people are sending in. I get people sending me questions and comments. I will check throughout the video each week to see if anybody has any questions throughout the video about the topic that I'm actually speaking about. But now the questions are actually in sync with what we're probably going to be feeling or asking ourselves as we are going through all these planetary shifts. So these are astrological questions each week. The reason why I chose to do this is because I was kind of already doing it myself, because I'm a true Capricorn. So, you know, whatever's kind of happening on the planet in the different seasons, that's what I'm feeling as an entrepreneur, and that's how I've decided to run my business. So I talk a lot about, you know, the waves and the seasons in my business mentorship programs, which I will be launching next month. So if you're to follow me each week, I'm going to encourage you guys, if you are interested in this, please go to my YouTube channel under Tamaron's Place and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That way you're going to be notified once these videos are actually uploaded after every Tuesday, and you will get the email notification so you can read and listen to what it is that I'm talking about so that you can be using some of these holistic and natural solutions to help you in your business and in just your personal lifestyle. You don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur, but I tend to attract a lot of people who are. Okay, so that really is my goal. That's what I'm stepping into this year. I'm super excited about it. I will be launching my Tamron's Place membership in September. So each week I will be sharing with you guys how you can learn more about that as I get everything ready, because this summer was all about preparation for me. And with all these planets in retrograde, I was actually looking at myself and deciding, what is it that I'm going to let go of, and what is it I'm truly going to step into this September as a business mentor for all of you guys, all right? And there's ways to be in the mentorship program for free, and there's ways that people have to pay, but they are affordable for everyone, and there is a sliding scale depending on which level of retreat and mentorship you are seeking. So I did a trial run last year and it was highly successful. So this year I am super pumped to be launching it, okay? So follow me each week, understand what it is that I'm doing, because I think a lot of people will actually catch on, because what I'm actually talking about I'm actually going to be doing as well, okay? So make sure, to post your questions in there, and we'll get cracking in a minute, and then I can make sure that you're understanding what it is that I'm doing, okay? So 2-card draw. The first card is always the challenge, all right? So that's the question I pose each week. And then we get an action step. We get guidance from spirit about the action step. And then I usually share a story about something similar that I've gone to, because the root issue is the same. And then I offer the remedy of 3 high-grade essential oils, or sometimes it's a book or a movie or something that comes up, all right? So here we go. So this is the question. I'm going to review it for you guys, all right? How to implement a strong sense of passionate leadership without coming across too pushy, all right, when you're wanting to launch something very specific in your business, okay? So here we go. First 2 cards that just came out of the deck. The first card is the challenge question. Came up in the upside down position, which means we read the card differently. Okay, so we're going to get back to that. And our action step also came up in the reverse position, so we read that card differently as well. So we're going to go back to the first card. So I'm going to put the other one down here. Look at this, chaos on conflict, all right? So if we were to look at this card actually in the upright position, all right, it's like, there's things happening in the clouds, pieces of things, having to go through the chaos and the conflict is very powerful. Again, but it came up in the challenge position. So what this means is, if you're to look at the card this way as well, if you're to look at, it's like little pieces of things coming together. So I want to go back to, mentioning about a lot of these planets that have been in retrograde this past summer. A lot of people feeling like nothing's moving forward. And there's a reason for that, because retrograde is very powerful. It's a time for introspection. It's about stepping into that bigger version of you and letting go of the small version, right? And it's also a time for you to really decide what it is that you truly want, all right? So right now, what Spirit is telling us is put those pieces together. What is it about you that you want to be different? What is it about you that there's something inside of you that's been waiting to come out? Like maybe it's a big vision of something you've had and you've carried it for a long time. Maybe it's been the past 10 years. I know that's been for me. And I had to go through all these different challenges so that in each challenge, I could pull out my actual strength. Because if I moved through them, that means there was a spiritual lesson for me. And if you notice that you were repeating the same situations were showing up in your business and in your personal life, and you're like, wait a minute, this keeps happening to me, all right? What is it about you that you need to step into, right? Really, where's your power been all this time? And let's pull you out of that victim mentality, okay? Because that's really what it represents. The second card that's coming up in the action step is actually saying, I want to make sure you guys see it without the glare here, is chop wood. And it came up in the upside down position, which means we read it differently. So what this card is actually saying is, if it's right side up, chop wood, it's like, get through everything. Like there's that big door that's opening. But if it's coming upside down like this, what it actually represents is the small steps you need to take. So what are the little piles of wood that you can start gathering together or start chopping so that you can have that big vision that you've been carrying for so long come into fruition? All right. So that's what it represents, chop wood upside down. So it's little steps, little steps. So it makes me think of an animal totem of a turtle, which is actually my main animal totem of this lifetime, is the turtle. Because for me, I always had to retreat. When something came up for me and it was like, wait a minute, I need to go within myself so that I can understand what it is that I truly want and speak up for myself and also say what I need to say. Because if we are constantly doing things and making choices based on what we really don't want inside of us, do you know what? We're going to keep attracting those same people and those same situations into our life that keep us stuck there. And it doesn't mean that you have to be mean or you have to get into like angry conversations with people, because remember, it's Mars coming out of retrograde, so everybody's fiery and just raring to go, right? But if you're speaking truly from your heart and you're honest about it, what's good for you is absolutely good for the other person. And that's a mantra that I've been speaking about to a lot of my friends lately and sharing a lot of my personal stories and just reminding myself and saying to people, I had to remind this. So if in my heart, whatever it is that I am saying is true for me and I'm being genuine and just saying it just doesn't fit, it just doesn't seem right, even if you don't know why, trust your gut, all right? Trust your intuition. And if it's good for you, it has to be good for that other person, even if you don't even know. Maybe it's a lesson. The other side of the situation is something that that person has been attracting over and over, and they need to move through that. So as long as you move through it with integrity and authenticity, they're going to move through it too. All right. And it clears the path for everybody involved. Okay. So remember that mantra. If it's good for you, it's also good for the other person. Okay. So super important. So again, what are these small steps that you want to take? And what are some small things that you can be offering to promote your business so that people get that clarity and that bigger understanding of what it is that you are offering? Okay. So for me, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be offering a webinar on Tuesday, September the 11th, I believe. So I want to wait till those little darlings get back to school, get into that new moon energy, and offer a free webinar. So it's going to be like, see, again, I'm having the hot flash, what it is that I'm going to be offering, because again, I want to make sure the people I'm attracting and the people that I want to work with in my business to support them as entrepreneurs is that they are a genuine avatar. All right. And a lot of people talk about avatars and, they don't go deep enough into the personality of who it is. So if you have done some work on yourself and you understand who you are, a lot of times the avatar is actually a mirror of yourself. And yeah, they might be a little bit different. But for me, I always make sure that people do an archetype quiz and we talk about some specific things about their archetypes. And I generally attract people that have 2 out of 3 of the same archetypes as me. Sometimes it's 1, but it's very rare. It's usually 2 out of the 3 of my same archetypes. So in my actual membership that I'm offering, these are some of the things that you will be learning by being a member of Tamron's Place. And when you understand this about yourself, it's going to be easier for you to have conversations with people. It's like, is this person, do they have this? Do they have these interests or whatever? Because if you want to be hanging around with these people in your business, you want to have some things that are very common, because if you get people that are working with you and they don't agree with what you say, or they don't agree with your behavior, or if they don't, like the way that you do things, you're going to find that there's going to be a lot of conflict, and it's going to be hard for you to work with these people so that you flow together. So I generally attract a lot of people who are in the network marketing or the direct sales industry, and they're building teams of people, right? So you have to know who it is that you truly want to work with, rather than just playing that number game. Because if you're just constantly bringing people into your downline or to your groups, and you're not spending time with them and you're not being intimate with them, they're going to feel like they're just a number, right? So team building is super important, and understanding your avatars and your archetypes is a great way for you to open that door and have that conversation with some of these people. So that is what I'm going to be promoting on Tuesday, September the 11th. It's kind of like an open network session. I haven't decided what the name's going to be, but I will be posting it on Facebook as well. It's going to be just where you can come. I'm going to talk about what it is that I'm doing, what my membership is doing, and who it is that I'm looking for, because I'm going to be giving hints out in that free webinar as to who it is that I am looking for who would love to work with me, okay? Because I'm into teams, I'm into leadership and putting people together so that they work more effectively, all right? But that's the way I'm going to do it without being aggressive. It's just like being open and honest about what it is that I'm looking for, because if it's the perfect match, whatever's good for me is good for them. All right. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below and I will talk about that a little bit more. Okay. But if you want to learn this, you are more than welcome to just attend the free webinar, and you can send me a private message and I will make sure I send you the link as well, because I will be using Eventbrite. All right. So it's a great way just to say, hey, it's kind of like a date night, speed dating or whatever, right? It's like business relationships are very similar to personal relationships. And I'm going to be honest and say, a lot of times I've worked with people who are an entrepreneur and they're like, that shows up in my personal life and my business too. And I go, yes, I know, because we're not different people underneath. The core issues are the same. So however it is that things are showing up in your business life, I guarantee you they're showing up in your personal relationships too, whether you're in an established relationship or you're just out there dating. Okay, it's the same stuff. All right. So when you clear one area, if you truly understand who you are in one area of your life, it's going to roll into the other aspect of your life. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. So I'm going to go and check, make sure we don't have any questions, and we got people joining. We got some thumbs up. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. So what are the 3 essential oils that I would recommend in this situation for this week? Because if you're just jumping on here now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I'm going to be doing these videos each week, and they're very much about what's happening astrologically on the planet with, full moon, new moon, retrograde, what some of the planets are doing, because I'm actually learning this myself. So next year, I'm going to be doing something even more in depth with people in my membership, but I can't talk about that yet because I haven't completed that. But it's something that I've been wanting to study for a long time. And so being a member, you guys are getting whatever it is that I'm learning, you guys will get for free as well. Okay. But a lot of people who follow me are empathic. So they're feeling things. They feel what's happening on the planet, and they're super sensitive, and they haven't found ways to actually balance their emotions so that they don't go from one extreme to the other. So I love to recommend high-grade essential oils. And again, I only use a specific company. And the reason why is because they are so pure and they do help us on an emotional level. And the reason why is because, for example, if you've got essential oils and you've put the 3 oils that I've talked about today into a blend, into a glass jar here, you'll be able to apply it topically or use it to put it inside of a diffuser or use it however you want. You can make it into a roller ball, or you can actually, and that's adding fractionated coconut oil, which I teach you guys how to do. And also you can do it like things like this, like putting them in diffusers. Now this diffuser is actually running the 3 essential oils that I'll be talking about and recommending for you guys, but it sits right next to my computer. It's got a little USB port on the other end. So as I'm working and I'm sharing the information this week, I'm actually using the same oils that I'm recommending. So even as a member in my group, each week I teach you guys in much more detail why these specific essential oils are going to be good for you and how to learn how to do this yourself, because it's actually very easy. So I've been trained with my background in some other holistic modalities, and all I did was reapply it to high-grade essential oils. And I teach you where it is that I learned from as well. So you get a lot of great free information when you join my membership. So here's the thing I want to remind you guys of. Essential oils are not just smelly things, all right? If they are pure and CPTG grade essential oil, what that means is even if you inhale them or you put them on topically somewhere on your body, they actually get into the bloodstream and then they get into all the different organs of your body, or if you just inhale them, then they actually go through the olfactory senses, and then they go into the limbic senses, sensory in the brain, and that means you emotionally feel different. So you can actually change how you are feeling emotionally within minutes. And that's the beauty of it. Okay. So it's great for kids, it's great for elderly people, and there's a ton of information where I can teach you how to use these essential oils. Okay. So they're super powerful. And if you figure it out, even by a drop, they cost pennies. Okay. You got to learn how to use them effectively. And that's, again, what I teach you. If it says one drop, you only need one drop. All right. And that's the beauty of it. So you can start replacing some of the toxic chemicals and things in your home. And what I find is that when people start learning from me, they start removing perfumes, anything in their bathroom that's toxic, whatever. You make your own hand soaps, like you name it. We start teaching you guys how to do it. So overall, you're going to stop buying other products. You're going to save money there, and you're going to find that you're going to feel a lot better, right? And you're feeling healthier, and you almost sometimes feel like you are anti-aging, that you're actually getting younger, because there's less toxic stress on your body on all levels, emotional, mental, physical, and that affects you spiritually as well, because you trust yourself more. All right. And we get into that inside of the group. Okay. So the 3 essential oils, we're getting yes hands. Yes. Awesome. Thank you for the hands there, the clapping. So the 3 essential oils I would love to recommend for this entire week coming up is lavender, clary sage, and cypress. And here's why. Lavender is really going to help you balance out this fiery Mars energy that, we've been experiencing since we've been coming out of retrograde, because Mars is now direct, right? Which means that, all the chaos and the craziness that we've been feeling with these planets, things are going to feel like they're now essentially moving forward. Okay. But people are like, oh my God, they're just like jumping off the bandwagon. Okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. All right, well, that's great. But you know what? People got to date you, right? They got to get to know you a little bit better. So we want to calm down that fire just a little bit, and we're going to add lavender. Okay, so lavender is very soothing. It's also an essential oil that calms the brain. So it's great for nighttime if you're having trouble sleeping, but it's also an essential oil that shows your truth, in a sense of giving you some calmness and clarity, and people understanding your value as opposed to just being a number, right? So if you've got some time to really represent yourself a little bit more intimately, and people really get to know you, then they're going to be like, yes, I want to work with you. All right. So lavender is going to help calm you down. And clary sage is going to help you maintain that vision so that you stay focused on that big picture, but it's the slow and steady is going to win the race. And cypress is going to help it to flow. So cypress is that tree, right? So it's going to allow things to keep flowing and moving more gently, like a gentle waterfall or a gentle progression, rather than like, come on, get in here and join, right? So hopefully the combination of these 3 essential oils actually makes sense to you. And again, if you have any questions or comments, if you'd like to know whose oils that I'm using, again, I teach a lot of free stuff. There's going to be some classes coming up, and there's just so much. I can't even talk about it right now, because that's actually not this video is about, each week on Tuesdays. But you are going to see more interviews, more places me popping up and representing myself, and an opportunity for you to come to some of my free webinars that I'm going to constantly be promoting. And the first one is going to start on Tuesday, September 11th. Okay, so that's going to be an opportunity for you to come and ask questions. I'm going to be explaining what my business mentorship is all about, how you can join, the different levels of play for you, so that it's extremely affordable for everyone, no matter where you are in your business. All right, and you can jump in there and you can get started. All right, so I'm super excited about that. Again, I just want to remind you guys to come back every Tuesday live here on Facebook at 222. So each week, the questions that I'm representing are the questions And some of the things that people are experiencing each week based on what's happening astrologically in the sky. So just remind yourself, whatever's happening out there in the sky, even look at the clock, whatever's happening out there is happening to us because we feel it, right? So these are some of the natural solutions that I will be offering for you guys to be using so that you stay in balance and in check with your emotions each week so that you can, be more successful in your business and as an entrepreneur. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. If you watch this video recorded as well, I will make sure that I come back and help you guys out. And I will see you again here live next Tuesday at 222. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.